Is Genshin Impact worth playing in 2023? Back when I was playing Genshin Impact back there 1.0, I remember playing the game for the first time and there was a lot to do back then. All we had back then was Monsa and Leeway, so we literally had no other areas on the map, no Dragon Spine, no Inazuma, Enkonomiya, Sumeru, Chasm, etc, etc. We had none of that, right? And back then, there was so much to do. I remember doing the Archon quests and just exploring the map. It was very, very refreshing. Like, reminiscing about it now, it is like, oh my god, man. It was phenomenal, dude. Even back then, we didn't have that many characters in the game. All we really had was the initial roster, 5-star characters like Diluc, Venti was there on day 1. We obviously had the other standard 5-star characters as well, like Mona, Chi-Chi, Jean, etc, etc. So we didn't have much of a roster to work with back then. Now to how it is right now. There is a plethora of characters. I think it's about like 60 plus. You have Ayato, Yelan, Ayaka, Yoimiya, you have Nahida, Cyano, Nilu, etc, etc. There are so many characters you can build and so many team comps you can also build compared to how the game was initially back in 2020. But yeah, back to the question, is Genshin worth playing in 2023? I want to say it's very, very subjective, and I'll give points on either side whether you may want to play the game or whether you may not want to play Genshin in 2023. Alright, so number 1, Genshin is a casual game. So if you are looking into Genshin Impact, don't expect any, God tier hard game that requires intensive mechanics. You gotta use your brain on overdrive to play the game. Genshin is just not that game. If you're looking for a game that's more skillful, so to say, and not to say that Genshin is completely brain dead, it does require like a little bit of brain cells in terms of elemental reactions, which you may not know if you're watching this video. But anyways, in terms of Genshin Impact, overall, it's a fairly simple game. Even in terms of endgame in Genshin Impact, the endgame is fairly easy. You can complete the endgame as full free to play, so you don't have to spend any money. I understand Genshin Impact is a gacha game. You don't have to spend any money to clear the Spiral Abyss, which is the endgame content in Genshin. Elaborating more on the gacha aspect of Genshin Impact, overall, I think the gacha system isn't too bad in this game, but I understand this could potentially be a deal breaker for certain players that may not want to play the game, as it obviously is a gacha game. But again, this game is fairly easy, even for free to play. So this is definitely not a pay to win game, so there's never the need to spend money on Genshin. Another reason why you may want to pick up Genshin in 2023 is this game has pretty much any guide you can possibly think of. Again, looking at my experience back in 1.0 in terms of Genshin Impact, everybody was just figuring out how to build characters, what worked well with what. Now, everything is available to you. Team compositions, weapon builds, artifact builds for characters. So it is very, very easy to find information online, YouTube, Google, etc, on how to play the game. So it's definitely newer player friendly compared to back when I started in 1.0. Alright, so another point that I would like to include for you guys, and I don't want to make this video too long, but I could not forget the lore in Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact is a very lore heavy game, and if you weren't playing the game since day 1, there are certain events that had limited lore. So if you are a lore enthusiast, then you will 100% be missing out on lore as a new player if you start the game now. But at the same time, it was more so filler lore, so lore through time-gated events. The main lore through the Archon quest, which is the main storyline in Genshin Impact, is still fully accessible to you as a new player if you start the game now in 2023. So I do know some people may be kind of debating whether to start Genshin Impact, as they may feel behind in the game in terms of lore, even in terms of like events and whatnot, as there are some events in the game that have limited weapons that will not come back into the game. So there are certain aspects of the game that if you weren't there during a certain patch within the game's life cycle, you may have missed. But at the same time, I don't want to say it's totally taking away from your overall experience that you may experience in Genshin Impact. So yeah, overall, I think Genshin Impact is definitely a good game to start in 2023. If you're looking for more of a casual game, a game that's pretty lore heavy and that is very, very noob friendly. So if you're looking for a very easy game to play on the side that doesn't require too much effort, that you can take at your own pace, then Genshin Impact may be the game for you. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this helps you decide if you are on the fence of whether you want to start Genshin Impact or not. Let me know if this helped you in the comment section down below. Maybe you're already currently playing Genshin. I would like to hear that too. I'll be reading all the comments as usual. Like and subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Told my brothers one day we gon' make it. We just gotta grind for that paycheck. Mama told me one day I'll be famous. Remember when she used to say she hate this? Back then they would laugh when I say shit. Now